So we're at the site that they believe is where the crossing is. I know this is controversial. There's different sides to the story, but what we heard is pretty convincing, and the reason why is because the way that the Sinai Peninsula on that side, about 16 kilometers across the Red Sea here, is Egypt, the Sinai Peninsula. The mountains would have moved or had cut off that from them to go further south and to come towards that way in the Sinai Peninsula, today Nuweiba Beach. And so if you read in Exodus 14, they cried out, they felt trapped. And so that is probably the site. Plus they said there has been chariot wheels found at the bottom of this area, that this could be the crossing site for the Exodus. So, but it's very deep. I think they said like 800 meters. So again, the scripture's talking about it being like a wall on their right and their left. This is a high probability this is where it was. So it's incredible. It's not a clear day today, but on a clear day you can see the Sinai Peninsula on the Yes, if it was a clear day, Samuel said we'd be able to see actually where the V was, where they had no choice. Either they had to face the army or they had to be able to face the sea, and that was God's plan to deliver his people. And the chariot wheel started to come off, and they said, the Lord is fighting against us, let's turn back.
Yeah.
We entered the town of Al-Bad, and it's in this area where the ancient Midianites lived. These caves are where they lived, and this has been backed up archaeologically and historically. And to this day, the local people call these the caves of Jethro. How amazing to see the caves he lived in. No doubt to get shade from the heat of the desert sun. Nearby is what is called Moses' well, and was likely the main well the Midianites used for themselves, and likely Moses did use in the story of him opening the well to water the flocks of Jethro's daughters. It should be noted that it was the Nabateans, though, who came later that made the caves have a more appealing appearance and carved the outside of them like you see here. They used them for their tombs. They came down about the 1st century from around modern-day Jordan. They're the same ones who carved out Petra in Jordan, which was their capital and called Rakhmu, and likely fled in persecution down here to Al-Bad. It's interesting that Herod the Great, with the support of Cleopatra, started a war against them. But praise God, history says that they ended up converting to Christianity. But isn't it incredible that Jethro and Zipporah and Moses for a time lived here in this very place?